pretty good statement. Well, I want to congratulate everyone here in making history. We have so far, and you're going to know what I mean by the end of this when I say so far, tonight raised more than $1.2 million. I want to thank a few people who were on the host committee who particularly were incredibly hardworking. You're going to hear from two others, from Peter Thiel and from Paul Singer. But I want to particularly thank Josh Blumenfeld, Charles Myers, Seth Klarman, and Frank Selvaggi for your incredible help in this event. We're happy to add your name if you're willing to write us a very large check. We are also very honored to be joined by a number of leaders who have worked over many years on behalf of the cause of equal rights, and I want to acknowledge them and thank them too. Bruce Cohen is here, who's a member of the AFER board. David Mixner, who needs no introduction, who's also on the AFER advisory board. John Podesta, who's not only the head of the Center for American Progress, but a member of the AFER advisory board. Frank Selvaggi a few minutes ago. In addition to his day job, he is the co-chairman of Empire Pride. Ryan Pedlow, a board member of Listen. Evan Wolfson, the founder of Freedom to Marry and the father of so many of these efforts. Brian Elder, the Human Rights Campaign New York Marriage Senior Strategist. Bill Smith and Patrick Guerrero from Gill Action are here. Winnie Stackelberg, now at the Center for American Progress, formerly of the Human Rights Campaign. Jared Barrios from GLAAD. Brian Elliott, who's founded a new group called Friend Factor. Richard Sacarides is here. Andrew Tobias, a gifted author and a member of the board of Friend Factor. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for many years of hard work. There are a number of people here who have helped specifically with this event. Margaret Hoover, Adam Umhofer, Marge Govan, Susan Ralston, Michelle Packman, Michael Ahrens, Dan Senor, Annie Dickerson, thank you all for your effort here. There are a number of folks here. The way we did this was we said if you were willing to make a contribution, we'd invite you as one of our guests. That's called bait and switch. Because what I'm asking folks here is if you can, after you listen to the speakers and see the video, if you can find $500, $200, $50, $50,000, if you can find a little extra money, there's going to be a table on the outside. Please make a contribution to AFER. Please make a contribution to this important effort. We really hope those who are guests only for the next hour and then are contributors to this important event. Finally, on a personal note, let me say this. One of the things that's been most exciting to me about this event is the number of people here who were first-time donors. And as someone who regrets very much not being involved and not being on the right side of this important effort till recently, let me just say this. This will be my first, but not my last event, and I hope you will stay involved too. Two other co-chairs of the event so they can make a few remarks. First, a good friend, Peter Thiel. Peter is an entrepreneur. Many have heard or read about him. He is the co-founder and was the co-founder and CEO of PayPal. He was the first investor and still a board member of Facebook. He now leads a fund called Clarion Capital. He's one of the smartest people I know, working on a book. Please welcome Peter Thiel.
Thank you very much. I'm not going to say a lot since I think we have a lot of awesome people who are going to say things much more eloquently than I will, but I only have two thoughts. I believe that gay rights and marriage rights for gay people should not be a partisan issue. Because I believe that it actually can't be a partisan issue, because as long as things are partisan issues and cultural issues in this country, you have trench warfare, like on the Western Front in World War I, you have lots of carnage and no progress. And so I'm very proud to be part of this event tonight and to shift this thing towards a bipartisan or nonpartisan effort and really change the course of this debate. Thank you very much.
The other co-chairman of the event, and we actually were going to have it as a department, you can see why we didn't, is a guy who has been unbelievably generous at so many levels. He's an entrepreneur, the founder of Elliott Associates, a philanthropist, the chairman of the Manhattan Institute, a generous donor to very many causes, including the cause of equal rights, and most importantly, a generous friend, a great dad, and a good man. Please welcome Paul Singer.
Thank you, Ken. It was when they asked me to get a bigger apartment that I thought the line had been crossed. Ken is my kind of fundraiser. There's no amount that anyone gives that's enough. In certain circles, I'm known as a fundraising terrorist, but Ken applies finesse to it, so I learned from Ken, and I appreciate it. I really appreciate everyone being here. The turnout is fantastic. And it's an honor, really an honor to welcome you to this event and to gather support for an event and a cause whose time has come. A generation ago, this movement would have been nearly inconceivable. But America is in the midst of a sea change when it comes to gay rights and gay marriage, and it's a change for the better. You all know, as well as I do, that change isn't always easy, that there are setbacks as long as successes along the way, that progress often takes time. But I want to say this as well. Great and successful social movements need to be led by calm, civilized, reasonable voices. And that, I think, is why the current has shifted so swiftly and so strongly in our favor, because advocates of same-sex marriage have been able to marshal powerful legal, social, human arguments on its behalf. The legal arguments have been expressed by the brilliant dynamic duo of Ted Olson and David Boies. You will hear directly from Ted tonight, so I won't cover the legal ground in what I say. The social arguments on behalf of gay marriage, I think, can be summed up this way. America, the writer Jonathan Rauch has said, needs more marriages, not fewer. And the best way to encourage marriage is to encourage marriage, which is what society does by bringing gay couples inside the tent. I believe a generation from now, gay marriage will be seen as a profoundly traditionalizing act. It will have channeled love into the most powerful social institution on earth, marriage itself. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done, but the wind is at our back, public opinion is increasingly on our side, and the law is opening doors of opportunity that used to be nailed shut. Let me add this note. All of us have friends inside and outside of politics who hold views different from ours. That's fine. In fact, it's completely understandable. Good and honorable men and women who do not hate gay people oppose gay marriage. And it would be foolish of us to pretend that such a large social change to such a vital social institution would not elicit some opposition. We may disagree with it, but our task is to deal with skeptics with patient persuasion, to talk to each other rather than to shout past each other. My belief is that when all is said and done, those here tonight will have been judged to have made our cause in a way that elevated the debate and earned respect from even those who disagreed with us. On a personal note, this past weekend, completely coincidentally, I found myself sitting between my son and my son-in-law in the living room of their home. We were leafing through the beautiful photo album of their wedding, which took place in Boston almost exactly 1 year ago. The album was wonderful, as such things are, evoking memories of family and friends gathering to celebrate their union, and promise of stability, partnership, and children, as such arrangements do. No moment better encapsulated for me the contribution